Hello. Hello everyone. Welcome back. Let's talk about car shopping, shall we? Car shopping in these times, this quarantine life, is a little funky. It's a little random. It's fast-paced, actually. It's very fast-paced. And to help educate you, the viewer, and help you make an informed decision, I wanted to share my recent experience with purchasing a car through Carmax. Now, why Carmax, you might say? Well, I've had experience with them before, about 7 years ago, purchasing my first Honda, and I really enjoyed the overall experience. They were easy to work with. They had a pretty broad inventory base. They also have this offering called Carmax Care. I think it's called Carmax Care, Max Care? I'll look it up. But they have this offering so that ways if you pay like a little extra chunk, and this, if you gets financed with your vehicle, like an extra, I don't know, $1,200 or whatever. If something comes up with your car within a certain date range or so many miles, you only pay a small deductible, like a little deductible, like 50, $100, 150 or what have you, instead of like your insurance deductible, which could be anywhere from 500 to over 1,000. And, you take it in. Their service shop services you, and it's all set. Also, let's just talk about the convenience factor and the inventory. They have a very clean website. It's easy to search for cars on there. It's easy to do little comparisons and set appointments. So the process is very straightforward. And the fact that there's the no haggle, you don't have to worry about like, did I talk them into the best price? It is what it is. No truer statement has been said. So that is another part that I appreciate about the CarMax experience too, is that I don't have to worry about that haggling situation. Now, I did strongly consider using Carvana, which has popped up in our neighborhood semi-recently, I think. I'm seeing a crap ton of advertisements for them on Hulu as well. So I would say they're doing pretty good. They're definitely trying to reach out to their audience, which they know is probably streaming shows right now. Carvana, my husband did use Carvana to purchase his truck last year, right at the start of quarantine situations. And that was a pretty easy and straightforward process as well. Really, both companies seem very similar to deal with from a customer service standpoint. Only difference being is that Carvana will actually deliver the car to your door and give you, I think, X amount of days, like a week or so, to test drive. Sorry, my arm is getting tired. They'll give you several days to test drive, whereas CarMax, you still have to go a little bit on site. But I think they even have like a curbside pickup too, if you're more interested in a semi-Carvana experience. I saw that offered too. I didn't go for it, but maybe you could check it out. But hey, let's check out the CarMax website. Okay, so here I am on the CarMax website. As you can see, they do push this, especially, I think this is kind of a newer dealio, 24-hour test drive, 30-day returns. They are a big retailer. They do have a really nice website, and then also they have a live chat button as well, which is really nice for the support. I'm gonna shop, and here's something I did for my car that I got. I can pick my type. So I picked my type. Obviously, you can filter things out. But here's the thing. I opened my thing up to Nationwide. This isn't my zip. I don't know what happened here. But I opened my search to Nationwide because sometimes... Okay, this one's a little expensive. But open your search to Nationwide. Because if you just limit it down, you may have to pay a shipping fee. Some of these are a little more expensive than others. I think I actually got in on a lower shipping fee. Yeah. Oh, this one's even less than what mine cost to ship from Florida. That's funny. It's not really funny. It's not funny at all. But anywho, there's different prices to ship vehicles. Obviously, I'm in Indiana. The Tennessee ones were pretty cheap. Like, I think it was like 99 bucks if I wanted a vehicle from Tennessee shipped up here. But you have all your different filters, pick your store, all that good stuff. And I opened it up to Nationwide to get a bigger inventory. That was key because the vehicle I ended up picking was actually in Fort Myers, Florida, which is really far away. But But what it ended up coming down to was the difference between two vehicles I was looking at that were almost identically priced. The only real differences were between the vehicles themselves and the price to ship them to my location. So both of them were out of state. I'm in Indiana, one was in Tennessee, one was in Florida. Obviously, the industrial piercing life. Obviously, the one in Tennessee, a lot cheaper to transfer up. They actually were having a heck of a deal where transfers were only about 99 bucks. It was, pretty cheap. But that vehicle was a year older and it had twice as many miles as the car I was looking at. So the differences were that HRV was a 4-wheel drive. The HRV I got was a 2-wheel drive. There were also differences in the color. The exterior of the other one was this really dark, it wasn't the Eagan blue. It was a dark, like Crystal Lake blue. It was very pretty. And the interior leather was a light gray. The one that I got is classic black, power car color, big popular car color. And the interior leather actually looks to me like the color of a latte. It's a very creamy, caramely kind of leather. At first, I didn't think I would go for it because, to be honest, I'm really more of a black, gray, navy, blue, like that kind of color palette versus earth tones, neutrals, and taupes. But gradually the taupes have grown on me, so I kind of fell in love with the color scheme. You can't build an HRV with any color leather outside of black. Now the black leather is the standard. And the more I researched about light leather colors, the more I learned that light leather apparently actually wears a lot better than the darker leather. The darker leather, more inclined to show scratches, scuffs, general wear and tear. And the light leather kind of hides it a little better. So I fell in love with it. I was torn between the two for a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? The better deal is the one that's further away, because even if I end up paying the shipping fee, and that's the only difference between the two, I get a bit of the manufacturer's warranty, and also lower mileage. It was just, it kind of was like, came down to, I like both. Which one's the better deal? The one in Florida was the better deal. So now the question is, how exactly did this process go down? Well, what I ended up doing, I got advice from a friend who used to work at Carmax. I reserved the vehicle, put it on hold, and said, hey, can you guys put this vehicle in Florida on hold? I'm going to try to test drive a similar one. Another HRV, might not be the same drive, but I'm going to test another HRV and then see if I like it. And if I like it, I'll see about shipping that one up here. And that's what I did. So we got to put it on hold because, let me tell you, quarantine car shopping is nuts. I thought trying to buy a house 3 years ago was difficult. This is way harder, almost like same day inventory turnover rates. It's kind of crazy. If you're looking for a car right now, I feel for you, because you pretty much have to know what you want. And if you see something that looks like a good deal, like reserve it, put a hold on it, get it, just do it. Just pull the trigger, because it's probably going to go by the end of the day. I didn't even have a day to think about which car model would be the best one for me and to really consider it. Somehow I did have over a day for this one in Florida. I don't know how that worked out, but I'm glad it did. But most of the cars I was looking at and considering purchasing, no, they would be purchase pending within 4 hours of me seeing them. It was kind of nuts. So my heart goes out to you if you're car shopping. Best of luck. It's really tough out there. People are buying cars. It's wild. Inventory is flying off the shelves in the used car business. That's for danger. So yes, I reserved the car. I set up an appointment to do a test drive. I went down to the Carmax, met with a rep, did a test drive. This time, 7 years later, this time I got to take the car by myself for 20 minutes and see how it felt. See how it drove. It was pretty cool. It was very smooth. It was very comfortable. It seemed to take bumps a lot better than my CRZ. I was sold. So we set up to go ahead and pay the shipping fee. You do have to pay the shipping fee if you decide to bring a car up. Like, I did the test drive and I was like, you know what? Yes, I'm going to get that one in Florida. Let's ship it up. So I did pay for the shipping fee ahead of time. That was done by the sales rep emailing me a link, and when I got home, I just filled it out. Poof. And then the big thing happened, which is waiting for a hauler to bring the car up. Now, the amount of time it takes for a vehicle to ship from one Carmax location to your Carmax location is going to depend on availability of the haulers and whether or not there are other cars that can come up at the same time. So this can vary anywhere from like a few days to approximately 28 days. My car was estimated to come in, let's see, I put it on hold. I think I put it on hold on March 2nd, and I paid the shipping on March 2nd. It was estimated to arrive on St. Patty's Day, the 17th, and actually showed up earlier. I was able to go in and do the test drive and everything by the 13th in my car, in the car that I shipped up. So yeah, it went fairly fast. Not too bad at all. Like I said, I work remote, and my spouse was able to take me to the grocery store and basically drive Miss Daisy around on the weekends. So that made things super easy. Saturday, went in. Now, I saw on the website that I have to print out all these things to like prove my address, prove my phone, prove my income. They didn't really look at anything I printed out. I feel like I kind of probably wasted a bit of time. When I went into the appointment, I met with the same rep I had talked to before with the test drive. I think the first thing we did was scan my driver's license and take a look at the vehicle and do the test drive. So I did the test drive. There was actually this little spot in a neighborhood where I pulled off and did my own visual inspection away from any prying eyes. I don't know. I just did my own private visual inspection. I just wanted to. Made note of certain things. One thing I was shocked about was that the back seat of leather had so many scuffs, and I was like, what happened? This wasn't in any of the pictures coming up here. What's going on? The other thing I noted was that there were a couple of scrapes on the mirrors, probably from the hauler. Big scrapes, big noticeable scrapes on both mirrors, and I was kind of like, oof, that's kind of rough. Got back from the test drive, talked to the rep, explained where the damages was, and he was like, you know what, let's take a look at that. So we looked at it. He made a note. He was like, yep, I can make some work orders for you. Don't worry about those scuffs. I think we're going to be able to buff them right out. They did. I didn't realize that when they haul the vehicle, it's still kind of dirty from the transport until right before they give it to you with the bow on top. So keep that in mind. Talk to them about your concerns. Like, I was like, guys, there's big dark scrapes and scuffs and stuff like on the leather seats. Like, ooh, it looks a little bad. Like, the whole reason why I spent more money on this one was because it looked very close to new. It was super gently used. Low mileage. It looked good on the inside. It had almost no cosmetic blemishes. What's going on? He wrote me a work order for the scrapes, and when they cleaned up the car, they had removed all the scuffs. There was only the tiniest bit of traditional wear and tear on the leather that I saw, which I was fine with. I was just like, get rid of those scuffs. They look bad. Look like big old like marks across the leather. Ugh, like navy and blackish colored marks across this light beige leather. Not cool. But they fixed it. It looked beautiful. It was all polished back up again. We started going through the financing, did the hard credit check. Again, he did not go through my paperwork or any of my printouts. So yeah, that was not a thing. I don't know. Maybe they do that. Maybe it depends on your credit rating. You know, maybe it's a good idea to have it just in case you're not in a certain score range. I would have it just to be safe, but they didn't really check my stuff. I verified my income. Tip. If you're going to use a debit card to pay for it or pay your down payment, you might want to talk to your bank beforehand and raise the limit, because I got blocked. I forgot to talk to my bank. I got blocked, and we had to do the payment via an email link, but this delayed the process immensely. So talk to your bank about raising your limit. That way you can just swipe your little debit card and be good to go. You don't even have to worry about writing a check. You do have other options, writing a check, or we actually did an email link He just had to see my bank account, so make sure you have a bank app and a good working phone with your bank app, just in case. He looked at it and was kind of like, okay, I verify you've got that deposit money in your account. We'll email you the link. I did have to pay the link before I left that day. They would not let me sign off on the paperwork and complete the process until I paid my down payment. So if you say I'm doing this down payment, you got to pay it before you leave the property, just so you know. The shipping fee was no big deal. I got to pay that when I came home after my first, visit test drive. But yeah, you will have to pay your down payment. Don't frustrate your sales rep. Don't frustrate the business office rep. Sorry, buddy. Did not know. But yeah. So I had to do it via an email link. For some reason, the email app on my phone, I couldn't progress forward. I ended up having to log into my Gmail on their computer and then going through the process of linking my account and doing the down payment. But, so the longest process, I would say, of the whole thing, the test drive took a little bit longer. And then waiting for the business office to become available to sign off on what my rep had set up paperwork-wise for the financing also took a while. They were swamped that day. I probably waited over a half hour for the business office rep to come and certify and kind of like the underwriter and be like, yeah, he set you up right. Do you know what you're getting into for your financing? Do you know what you're getting into for the car? Did you check and see if there's a driver's manual? You should check and see if there's a driver's manual. They'll tell you what to do where you can get a free one, but you might want to just verify. No big deal. If you don't, it's fine. They'll give you a new one for free. But anywho's, they go through all of the stuff in your agreement, whether or not you understand, and also the total amount being financed after the down payment, especially if you go with the Max Care additional care, which is that low deductible servicing option if anything were to come up between now and a certain given mileage point. I feel like I'm talking really fast and I only had 1 cup of coffee. I'm really amped up about this, but I love my car. Anywho's, smooth process overall. Raise your bank limit. Signed off. They got the car all polished up best they could. The Carmax car wash isn't the greatest, but they did the best they could, and they actually presented it to me with a bow on top, which was adorable. I've never had a car with a bow on top, so it's kind of funny. And the rep offered to take my picture. At that point, I'd spent about 2 hours in there signing paperwork and test driving and going through everything. I was like, I'm ready to go. Let's do this and wrap it up. I gotta fix lunch because we're hungry. I was so hungry I didn't eat breakfast that day. I usually intermittent fast, so I was really ready to eat. But it was cute. It was a really nice offering. Rep was super friendly. Yeah, I would definitely give it a 2 thumbs up. I thought it was a great service, good experience. And now, let's take a look at that car. So there's my vehicle in nice B-roll footage. Yeah, I like it. It's really nice. The experience was really good. I will say real quick before I go, I did also call the service department to let them know that there was a chip in the windshield that I noticed when I came home. And they covered the mirror scuffs and that windshield chip to me, the consumer, free of charge. Super nice. Thanks so much for watching. Hit a like if you like more content like this. Subscribe if you enjoy shared experiences, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.